That's so good. I love it.
Okay. I didn't put the fade out on. Dang it.
That was such a good intro for the picture that is up on the video. That is such a good intro.
Yeah. Barkley is underway, folks. It came on like I wasn't even thinking about Barkley. I was thinking about March Madness basketball, and all of a sudden I saw the social media post that Barkley is underway. The picture we're looking at is, I think this is probably professional wrestling. Was that like the Undertaker or something? I
think that's the Undertaker, and like even the person in the front looks kind of familiar. But I was never a WWE or WWF person, so like I don't know. I'm like 99% positive that's Undertaker.
Yeah.
And the person in front, I feel like I know, but I don't know.
I was a huge WWF as a kid. Like we were so into it, but I think these might be newer wrestlers or like a newer version of the Undertaker. I don't know. Anyways, it's a meme, and it's basically like the Undertaker standing behind another wrestler who's laughing, and the wrestler that's laughing, there's the words 5 Barkley finishers in 2024. And then the Undertaker, who's like looking at him like he's ready to crush him, is Laz in 2025. So basically, we don't know what old Laz had up his sleeve for this year, but he was obviously deeply disturbed that 5 people finished last year. So.
He is out there snatching people's souls.
That's right.
Like it is bonkers. Like it is next level what's going down there.
Yeah. Somebody even commented, did anybody train this year?
So
but we'll get to Barkley updates when we get to the news. It's some interesting shit going on there.
Yeah.
And we got some race results. Some more elites are doing their warm-up races for the year. There was an FKT in Central Park in New York City. Barkley updates. We're gonna, like we just mentioned, we're gonna go over some Barkley updates. The Beer Mile World Championships, some info has been released for that. I know it's not ultra related, but it seems appropriate for our show. 2 races with or actually 3 races with big time talent are coming up this weekend, and our 3 T's, we're gonna talk about Reddit advice. We're gonna talk about social media coaches, what to watch out for, and kind of like basically how did we get advice, and what's the best sources of advice for the newer ultra runners out there. All right, well, let's get into race results. And one thing that we overlooked last week, simply because it was so far under the radar that we didn't know about it until after we recorded, was that Courtney DeWalter also ran a race 2 weekends ago. The same weekend that Walmsley crushed that race in Arizona. Courtney ran a trail marathon near where she lives. She lives in Leadville, and this trail marathon was in Salida, I believe. Yeah, in Salida. And of course, she won 3 hours and 30 minutes and 51 seconds. It's a classic Colorado marathon, I guess. So, the runner-up for the women, Imogen Ainsworth, said, "It was an honor to finish second to Courtney. She's the greatest of all time for me. No hype, no fanfare, just another day at the office for the GOAT." Couldn't agree more. I'm really looking forward. Courtney's running Cocodona 250 this year. That should be very interesting. I don't think she's ever ran a 250-mile race. So
She's never done Coco?
She did Tahoe 200. She hasn't done Coco, no. So that should be fun to follow. All right. Well, let's get started with what went down over the weekend. One of the most did I cut out because my screen?
No, you're here.
Cut out. Okay. One of the most famous 50Ks out there is Chuckanut up in the Pacific Northwest in Fairhaven or Bellingham, Washington. This was the 31st year for Chuckanut 50K, and it was super muddy and super rainy and wet. Here's a picture of Chris Myers flying down the trails. You can kind of see they're pretty slick. But I guess I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
Mid-March Pacific Northwest race. Like I said, this is a staple though. They settled on a route in 1995, and Chuckanut Mountain is just south of Bellingham. The foothills of the Cascades meets the saltwater. So there was 623 finishers in this.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's
great.
That just goes to show how popular it is.
How is the course not destroyed? Because we're watching this video of Chris, right?
Yeah.
Like how after I don't know, the 100th person goes over that. How is it not just wrecked?
Right.
I don't understand how they get 600 people. Because it's not a single track, you know what I mean? But it's not road. Yeah, that blows my mind.
Yeah, I think there is some single track in that the trail looks a little wider in those videos.
Yeah.
I believe there's probably some dirt road and some single track, and then some of that double track that we saw in the video.
Yeah.
But Debo was even out there. It was 1 week before his 39th birthday. Chuckanut's been on his bucket list, so he went out and did it. Said he did not have the best day, but enjoyed being out there. All right, so Chris Myers dominates, and actually very impressive. Top 7 men went under 4 hours.
Chuck.
So, yeah, let me pull up the results here. So top 7 men went under 4 hours, but Chris Myers, he just crushed it. He got 3rd at the Black Canyon 50K in February, and now he came out here and he won Chuckanut 50K in 3 hours and 39 minutes. That's a 7 minute and 3 second per mile pace. Carl Augustin, 3 hours and 49 minutes, and Andrew Rylarsdam, 3 hours and 51. That was your podium for the men. And for the women, looks like, here we go. Female. Jade Bellsberg, 4 hours and 22 minutes first. Claire Rhodes, 4 hours and 24 second. And Sarah Carter rounded out the podium, 4 hours and 29 minutes. And let's see what else we had here. Yep, that was it pretty much for Chuckanut. Oh, there is prize money at Chuckanut, $550 to the winners. Prize money goes 3 deep. Not too much money, $550, but enough to cover your race entry and maybe like a few beers afterwards or something.
Nice little hotel stay or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to see. I was looking for. They claim that it's technical course, but it doesn't look crazy technical. There's a couple that has a little roots and stuff like that, but
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of videos online. I haven't looked into it too much, but
It would be a fun race to do, though.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Definitely one that I would love to get out, just because it's so classic, you know.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the nine trails 35 miler. This race I just learned about this year.
It's like right down the road from you too.
Yeah, and that's probably why I learned about it, because I was volunteering. I was volunteering at that Cuesta Ridge race that's on that private property, and the guy that was the aid station captain that I was working at, he was running the half race, the 17 mile, and he was telling me like how much crazy climbing that is. But there's, for the 35 mile race, there's over 11,000 feet of climbing on these trails in Santa Barbara. I definitely want to get down there and check out these trails now. I'm like kind of very intrigued by this race. And one of the local runners here out of San Luis Obispo, Alexander Parker, who I believe he won that Cuesta Ridge race that I was volunteering at. I started following him on Strava, so I was following his training for this 9 trails. He came in second, and he should be very proud, because the person he lost to is none other than Rod Farvard. And impressively enough, Rod ran this race back in 2019.
Yep, 2019.
The year that Jim Walmsley ran it and set the course record, 5 hours and 12 minutes. And Rod was 4th that year in 5 hours and 43. Well, now Rod is he's got stuff dialed in, and he came out and he beat Walmsley's course record this year. So he went 5 hours and 8 minutes for the win. Now think about that. 35 miles with like over 11,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
Technical. I'm guessing it's technical trails, because it's in the Los Padres National Forest, which that's usually pretty technical. So that's pretty impressive.
Look at the top men times for that race. Like you say, it's now Farvard, right? He has it for this year. But then it's Walmsley. Hayden Hawks has the 3rd fastest time. Jared Hazen has the 4th fastest time.
Yeah. Like, look at that.
Chris Brown's back to back, and then Rod again, and then Chris Brown again. Jimmy Elam. Like, it's crazy. Like that, that race, the top men's times is like a who's who of like
it is
freaky, like, it's crazy.
It's like, why is this little out of the way race like just so popular? Well, I guess it's because it's an early season race in Santa Barbara. You know, has a boatload of climbing. Luis Escobar puts it on. You know.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, one, yes, it's an early race with a ton of vert, but it obviously does not hurt that it's Escobar, right? That dude is really, really, really well liked in the community, and gets a ton. Like, he's a really good dude. It feels like. He is. Yeah, he was the one that put on that Cuesta Ridge race that I volunteered at.
Yeah, and actually, I won a hat because he did name that tune at the start finish. I guess the Blind Melon, No Rain.
Oh yeah. I will say, you have no reason not to go learn these trails, because it's not just Alexander Parker from Slow, but right there in 10th place as another fellow St. Louis.
James Finn. Yeah. I think they run and train together. Alexander Parker and James Finn.
Finn James.
It is Finn James. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. You can make the Three Musketeers out of their little duo.
No.
Just imagine how fast they would make you in just a couple of years.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening. I remember just going on runs with Steve Trail Runner Pierce and like,
oh God, damn.
dying and to keep up. And then I'd tell him, man, I need to walk for a little bit. He's like, okay, I'll walk for a little bit. And then like after like 10 steps, it would start running again.
Start
like,
shuffling again, yeah. I mean, come on, man. There's no way that you can't hang with the 24 and a 25-year-old.
Dude,
you got him.
I've seen their Strava times around here, and the FKT for it's called the tri-tip. I'll explain that some other time, but I think that Alexander Parker holds that FKT. It's like a famous route around here. So anyways, Rod Farvard was first in 5 hours and 8 minutes. Alexander Parker, 5 hours and 59. And Christian Howell came in third in 6 hours and 1. So he was not far behind Alexander. And then for the women, Charlotte Cox from Santa Barbara was first in 6 hours and 45. And then second place was Lydia Van Hoff from Carpinteria, California. I'm not sure where that's at. 8 hours and 3 minutes. So the second place female was 8 hours and 3 minutes. And
golly days.
Third place female, Isabel Radis, 8 hours and 34 minutes. So,
dude, if it took them 8 hours to do that race, it would legitimately take me. That's got to be a 13-hour 50K for me then.
Yeah, and this is an out and back. I'm gonna log in and just look at Alexander's Strava just to say how much climbing there was.
Dude, the last finishing time on that race is 14 hours and 33 minutes. That is crazy. That is insane for a 50K. A little over 50K. Oh.
Where do I look at activities? Oh, here we go. No. What was the date on that? It was would
have been Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So the 15th.
Well,
it's a good podcasting right here.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. I'll find it anyways. We can continue on.
It's a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely over 11,000 feet. So let's move on to the Get Lucky 50-50 in Canal Fulton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this race?
Yeah, I think we talked about this one last year too. It's that one that's like a really flat, really flat. It's along the canal up there, I believe.
Okay.
But it's a pretty it's a pretty good group of like the RDs feels like a pretty good dude. And I feel like they also do a lot of other races that are pretty like they're the same group that does like Running with the Nomies, Tuscazora 100, Eagle Up Ultras ran by this group.
Okay.
So I think their big thing that they like to focus on and try to get back to is like veteran stuff.
Yeah. So this year at the Get Lucky 50-50, there was a couple course records set. So let's first look at the 50-miler where Alec Klein won in 5 hours and 33 minutes. That is a course record, I believe. Yep. And Lucas Clark was second, 6 hours and 17. Liam Hartsuff, 6 hours and 32. And then for the women, first place, Hannah McCorkle, 8 hours and 2 minutes. And in second place was Amelia Kavelheim from Galena, 8 hours and 13. And third place, we had Tina Frimmel from Brecksville, Ohio, 9 hours and 20 minutes. And then in the 50K, there was a course record set for the women, 3 hours and 54 minutes for Alec Borsk from Portland, Oregon. That's interesting. Somebody from Portland came to Ohio to run the Get Lucky 50-50.
Could you imagine? I can't imagine what her she's like, what the fuck am I out here doing? Like, go out from Portland.
Right.
What a weird, it's a weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe she has family in the area or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? But she set the course record anyway. Or maybe she's like, I'm going to jack up my rating on Ultra Sign Up and go crush this race in Ohio on this flat towpath or whatever. And second place for the women was Genevieve McCorkle in 5 hours and 27 minutes from Chillicothe, Ohio. And from Flagstaff, Arizona, third place, Anna McClaughry.
Wait till you see third place. Yeah, super weird.
And then for the men, in first place overall, Zach Krim, 3 hours and 14 minutes, just laid down a super fast time. And
second fastest
50-mile time.
No,
and,
second fastest 50K time.
Or 50K time. I'm sorry. Yes, You're right. Thank you. John Verhagen from Birmingham, Michigan. And that's near where I used to live for a while. 4 hours and 19 minutes for second for the men. And Cole Williams, third from Akron, Ohio, 4 hours and 20 minutes.
This race has so much potential to be super cold too.
Oh, yeah.
That race has so much potential either be like really nice and like you're like, man, this is perfect running weather, or like you're going to freeze to death. There is so little middle ground on that.
I think you guys had a decent weekend or weather over the weekend. Is that right? Or
Saturday. I feel like we had thunderstorms Saturday, actually. Yeah, I think Saturday we had storms. Sunday was nice, but I think Saturday was kind of shitty.
Okay.
But I can't remember.
Maybe a shitty day.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to the Rabid Raccoon 100. This is a race that got in here because of its name.
Gotta respect the name, folks.
Heck yeah. Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. This takes place in Brady's Run Park, winding through the woods. We'll take you on a mix of single track, gravel roads, over hills, across streams, around Brady's Run Lake. And this is a 100-miler, early season 100-miler for Pennsylvania.
You gotta be hardy. You gotta be a hardy dude to sign up for this thing.
That's right. 56 people finished the 100-miler. Dan Green was first in 17 hours and 9 minutes. And 3.5 hours later, second place male finished, Oliver Beeser, 20 hours and 49 minutes. Lucas Holcomb, 20 hours and 54 minutes for third. And then for the women, we had Rachel Moore in first, 23 hours and 43 minutes. Marissa Kovach, 24 hours and 34 minutes for second. And Tammy Rachow, 24 hours and 51 minutes for third. There was 100.
My gosh.
What's that?
I think, is this just I'm trying to look at the map. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm looking at the map. I think this thing is a multiple loop kind of map.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't doubt that. In the 100K, Justin Kelsey got first for the men in 10 hours and 41 minutes, and Rebecca Kosek for the women in 12 hours and 4 minutes. So,
oh my gosh.
Let's see. Free coffee. Participants get free coffee.
Free coffee. I mean, why the hell not?
I think I mean, I like the buckle, but I think they could have made that like a little more rabid. It's like a raccoon wearing a buckle. Or a medal.
Oh wait, the round ones aren't the buckles. The round ones are medals.
Oh, is that the buckle right there?
Yeah. Underneath the tails.
There is actually a rabid raccoon in the buckle.
Yeah.
That's a big buckle, man.
Wait, not that buckle. The buckle's laying on the
that's
there. First place. No, to your right.
Yeah, I got it. Right. Oh, right here.
Yeah, those are your buckles.
Okay. Yeah, I can't really see it.
Yeah.
I
wish I could really get more of what this course is, but anywho, we got another Ohio race to talk about anyway. So
that's right. We're going on to Buzzard Day trail races. Look at that guy there, Roy.
That is a handsome son of a bitch right there, boy. That is a handsome son of a bitch.
With that painting, it's pretty classic.
Yeah.
Buzzard Day is they used to not mark that course, right? I think they used to not mark it. But it says it is marked this year. It was marked. And it's a 25K loop in Cleveland Metro Park's Hinckley Reservation. Rocks, roots, mud, all the fun a trail runner craves. There's a 50K and a 25K, or is it a 50 mile? No, it's 100K, 50K, and 25K. But I don't think anybody did the 100K this year.
I don't think very many people do, yeah.
There was no results for the 100K, but for the 50K, there was 7 finishers. Mike Fatula was first in 5 hours and 9 minutes, and Janine Nicholson was first for the women in 5 hours and 26 minutes. So that was it. 50K.
Not too shabby, yeah.
Yeah, not a very popular race this year. Maybe it's because the Get Lucky 50-50 was on the same day.
Yeah,
aren't they competing?
I don't know why they did it on the same this year. I don't know. I don't think they usually do.
Yeah. The last race that we were going to talk about is the Cove, and this is a race in North Georgia in the mountains. Let's see here. 15-mile long valley. McLemore Cove is a 15-mile long valley in the V between Lookout Mountain to the west and Pigeon Mountain to the east, 45 minutes from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Fort Payne, Alabama, 1 hour from Dalton, Georgia. Like most beautiful places, it's a little out of the way. Its unique location between Pigeon Mountain and Lookout Mountain makes it geologically a transition between the Cumberland Plateau Ridge and Valley and province of the Appalachian Mountains. We start our races in the Cove at Mountain Cove Farms and climb up Pigeon Mountain. Pigeon Mountain is famous for Rocktown and Ellison Cave, also home to Ghost Town of Estelle. And both the 30K and 50K routes get to go by Rocktown. 50K runners will go down Estelle Mines Trail, the old railroad tunnels. The 50K will also pass Pocket Falls and the High Point Overlook. So,
dude, go to their website.
That's a cool picture with the fog.
Yeah. All right. So you're on the website. Scroll down a little bit. And now click on the Cove. Click on the Cove's like their own link. Scroll back up just a smidge. The Cove. Click on it. Yeah. Now scroll down. You know how they talk about the one trail you get to do? Wait until you see this one trail they're talking about. Scroll down a little bit more.
Is that for real?
No, not there. Not there.
Oh,
okay. Right below. Oh, wait. Scroll back up just a smidge. It's right above the little map. Right. Oh, wait. We went by it. There is. Where is. You have a different layout than I do, I feel like. That is super weird. I have I have this woman coming out of there is clearly right there.
Yeah, okay. That's
Look
the
at that,
30K, yeah.
Yeah, you get to go through that. That
You get
is
to go through it.
wild
Oh, that's
as
the
shit.
cave. That's the cave.
Yeah.
So there's a cave, a rock cave. It's really crazy looking.
That would be kind of cool to get to go through that.
Yeah, the trails look pretty nice, pretty cool.
I've only ran around Chattanooga once or twice, and it is not smooth running. It is rocky. It is rocky and rooty.
Chattanooga is a trail town, though. There is just crazy amounts of trails out of Chattanooga.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is probably, I'm sure it's technical. The pictures are just in the cool spots, but
yeah. I bet that is a tough course, man. I bet you are sore after that one.
Yeah, this is in Chickamauga, Georgia. And let's see here. Let's look at the results on the 50K. There was 56 finishers. Mac Dean was first in 4 hours and 54 minutes. For the women, Shannon Wheeler DeBoff, 5 hours and 51 minutes. So, all right. There was an FKT recently. And I think we covered an FKT on this route last year. And there's a new one set. And this is for the Central Park loops. So in Central Park, there's a 6.1 mile loop that if you run the perimeter around Central Park, it's 6.1 miles. And this challenge is a Central Park Loop Challenge. It's on the FKT website. And the challenge is to run as many loops as possible in one day. You can start and finish at any point on the standard Central Park main road. And the Central Park is open from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. And so you get that amount of time to see how many loops you can do. And make sure you're not cheating and entering the park before it opens or leaving after the park is closed. The official challenge starts at 6:05 a.m. and goes to 12:55 a.m. The challenge is for whole laps only. If you match the laps of the previous FKT, you must have a faster time, so be sure to report your actual start and finish time. So if you go, the male supported FKT is the one that was recently set. And Hamish Magoffin did 19 loops in 17 hours and 29 minutes.
Dude, that is fucking blistering.
So
that's 115 miles.
Yep. That's like almost 116 miles.
Yeah.
And that
is blistering. 17 and a half hours, 115 miles.
Yeah.
That is
so that's, he set that on March 8th. And the previous record was actually Oz Perlman and from 2022, and Oz did it in 19 loops in 17 hours and 40 minutes. So it was just a 12 or 11 to 12 minute difference.
Yeah. Which what they're, dude, first off, if you rattle off another 6.1 miles, right? Because that's what we're talking about now, right? Now it's like, okay, well, who's going to get to the 20th lap? Dude, you're rattling off 6.1 more miles. Like you're a 10K. You're rattling off a 10K.
So you got to get to 121 or 122 miles.
Yeah. In 18 hours.
Well, yeah. Is that 6 a.m. to 1 a.m.? It's 18 hours.
Because 6 to 6 would be 12, right?
Yeah.
6 to 6 would be 12.
7.
And then to midnight would be 18.
So almost 19 hours.
Yeah. Here's what's okay. So I know we're here to talk about the FKT set. All right. So supported, we all know self-supported, and then unsupported. I'm kind of, if you scroll down, the unsupported is really disappointing.
Yeah, three loops. That doesn't make any sense at all.
3 loops 2.5 hours. Like, what are we talking about?
Dude, we can go. Let's go set that. We can do 4 loops unsupported.
In 18 hours? I mean,
yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, we can.
We can walk that.
Dude, like we can literally throw backpacks on chock full with like fucking water and gummy bears and hike all fucking day and destroy that FKT. We would look like the fucking men. Like, just power hike that bitch all day. I don't understand how that's so low. How is like But
yeah, I don't know.
But here's what's funny. The other one that we talked about, this one's up in Manhattan, right? Because it's Central Park.
It is.
The other one was down in Prospect Park, down in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That was the other one we talked about, and we laughed about it too because it had some really shitty FKT. Dude, like this, we could go
snag all the FKTs in New York.
We could dominate the FKT, which is just pathetic to say out loud. But except for we are not getting that. We are not getting the supported. We're not being. We're not.
No. But we're gonna carry. I'm sure you can get water at a public fountain in there. We just have to carry enough calories. It's unsupported. Yeah. So, yeah. And I still have my FKT, my mindset on this FKT that I told you about, but I'm not revealing that because I don't want anybody else to go do it.
Go poach. go lay down a mad ass time at it, like son of a bitch.
Right. Yeah. Nice. So, and the unsupported, the female unsupported is seven laps. So, yeah, I don't know why that's so low for the unsupported. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a way we can get our name on the FKT website.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. There is a really vain, egotistical part of me that wants just to hop a quick drive. I mean, that's that's an easy drive for me. That's I can drive to New York in 10, 12 hours.
Right.
Knock that fucker out on some Saturday and then drive back and be ready to go to work on Monday. That's so weird. That's so weird that it's only 3 loops. That's only 18 miles.
Right.
I mean, I can power myself for a 50K, 50 miles on fucking Uncrustables and water. That's amazing.
It is. All right, let's see what's going on with Barkley.
I refreshed Twitter.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we do know. And String Bean had a good summary of this. And oh shoot, where did that link go? I gotta open up. Okay, here we go. Share this. Okay, at the 2024 Barkley, a crazy thing happened. We were more than halfway through the first lap, and I counted a group of 18 people running together in a pack. It felt similar to counting a group of 35 runners together at mile 10 of this year's Black Canyon, a true stampede. The stampede of runners allowed for teamwork in route finding and pacing, and ultimately led to a record 5 finishers, including a legendary performance by Jasmine Paris. So what happened at the 2025 race, and how does it compare to 2024? Well, 10 runners finished Loop 1. There were 23 last year. 0 runners completed Loop 2 in 24 hours. The minimum pace you need to finish 12 individuals went sub 24 last year. So 0 finished Loop 2 in 24 hours this year, but 12 went sub 24 last year. The best possible outcome for this year seems to be a few runners getting a fun run. What caused the drop-off in performances? Is it the conditions, the field less deep, Barkley hangover? Is the course that much harder? Right now, it's mostly spectators, but there are a few things to look into. The start time sucked. 11:37 a.m. was the start time this year. It's the latest Barkley has ever started, I think. The race has a 12-hour start window from midnight to noon. Runners likely tried going to bed around 6 p.m. the night before. This meant they were probably awake by 2 to 3 a.m. and waiting for the conch to be blown. Condition looks great. There seems to be no stampede this year. Was the field deeper? 5 or more runners who completed 2+ laps last year have returned. Only one finisher, John Kelly, has returned. Should be enough depth to make a push on the course, but it seems like a less top-heavy field. Is the course harder? The best way to tell is John Kelly factor. This is John's 8th Barkley attempt. He has multiple finishes. His first lap is typically 8:10 to 8:30, and his second lap is typically 11 to 12. This year he split 11 hours and 14 hours, which is 2 to 3 hours slower per lap. To see an experienced vet move that slowly through the course is concerning. To me, it feels like Laz and Carl just raised the standard of the Barkley to be the equivalent of the sub 2-hour marathon. To any Barker hopeful, good luck. So it seems like the course may be a lot harder this year. And you don't have as much experience this year as you did in previous years. But he's right about the John Kelly factor. So my guess is the course is a lot harder. Now, there was it 6 runners that went out on loop 2
this year?
Yeah, I think 6 runners made it out on loop 2 this year, and only 4 runners made it out on loop 3, and I think 2 of those runners have dropped out.
No, it was okay. Quit on loop 3. Tim Landy is still on loop 2 and has timed out. Can't tap out. 4 runners. There were 4 runners. Loop 3. 4 runners made it to loop 3.
Yeah, and 4 hours ago he said Tomo and John. So Tomo is that Japanese runner, and John Kelly have passed the fire tower. John about 30 minutes behind Tomo. Yeah. And 30 minutes ago he texted, "It's dark out here and windy." That was the last update. And Keith Dunn is the only one that updates Barkley. So.
Yeah, over on, and that's on Twitter. Over on Threads. What's her name? Boone.
Amelia Boone.
Yeah, she's on Threads, and was occasionally giving a little bit of updates, but there's nothing new here.
Yeah. So it looks like there's only 2 runners left. Because if Maxime Gaudin and Tim Landy were the other 2 runners that went out on loop 4, they've both tapped out. So.
Yeah, dude, it is crazy.
No, wait. Maxime quit on loop 3, so I don't know who the other runner is on loop 4.
No one's on loop 4.
Or loop 3. Okay, yeah. So that's right. That's right. Okay. So I think there's only 2 runners left.
Yeah. Tomo and John. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Dude, what's kind of funny is, and obviously I've never been down there, right? And I don't know exactly how, but it's funny when they talk about the course is harder this year. I always thought that generally speaking, the course was the same year in and year out. But it must not be because he clearly did something to make it much harder this year.
Yeah.
So it must just be that it's the same distance somehow. But he must start at where Frozen Head is. He must start there and be like, okay, it's going to be this many miles of a loop, and I can go from here whatever way I want up, and then just hit checkpoints. And so it must just be chaos.
I know that some of the trails, like Rat Jaw and things like that, they're in it every year.
Yeah.
Meth Hill or whatever that is. Like, there's certain ones that are in it every year. But honestly, I think he adds sections sometimes. So, like, I think he may add distance at times. And this is not on, a lot of it's not on trails per se.
Yeah. So, yeah. You're bushwhacking.
So he could take it through like some damn, Maldiflora rose thorn bushes and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's funny because like, I appreciate this race from a very far distance. Like, this is one of those races that I would get to and then would just be like really pissed off during it. You know what I mean? I'd just like, what the fuck? Like, why are we doing like this? Does not need to be like, okay, I get it. You're trying to make this race hard. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of race that pissed me off. But from a distance as a spectator, I'm like, this is the best. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, make it suck.
Right. So I know somebody that we need to get on the show, Frozen Ed Furtaw. He's been around Barkley like every year since it's been started. He was the first one to finish the fun run. And so we can get him on and talk about the course, not specifics, but just about like the iterations of the course throughout the years. Like, how much has it changed? Has there been distance added? These types of questions he could definitely answer. So but so as we know right now, with limited information, there's 2 runners out on Loop 3. That's the latest update.
Interesting.
The Beer Mile World Championships. The date and location has been announced. After 2 years in North America, the Beer Mile World Classic is headed to Lisbon, Portugal for its 11th edition on July 26th.
Wow. What a great place to have it.
This is the first international beer mile competition on the Iberian Peninsula.
Oh.
So that should be fun. I'm guessing they have a live stream, maybe. Seems like a pretty big deal these days.
That'd be so fun to have a live stream too.
Yeah, it would be cool to maybe do a live show during the live stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine, oh, look at this, drinking beer from a shoe. Gross. But yeah, that's fun. Also, just a reminder that the Chianti races are this weekend, including in the 120K, which is a golden ticket race. There's a huge lineup. Jim Walmsley is there to run. Vincent Bulliard, winner of UTMB last year, is there. Killian Jornet, we don't know yet. His wife had their baby last week, and it's unknown if he's going to be on the start line or not. But if he is, then we got three of the best trail runners in the world lining up. So, and it's going to be live streamed as well. So that'll be one to follow. I think it starts at 6 a.m. local time for Italy. So that's probably going to be
that noon me.
No, you'll be in the middle of the night.
Oh, no. Midnight. Yeah. It'd be midnight me. Yeah.
So it'll probably be, like 9 p.m. for me.
Yep.
So maybe I'll be able to tune in for a couple hours Friday night. But anyway, should be a hell of a race. And also the Big Alta is this weekend in Marin County. This is a race that Debo and Daybreak Racing put on. And it started last year, and it was like an instant classic with all this talent that showed up. And it's north of Mount Tam and like the foothills, and it has some pretty serious climbing. I think there's like 7,500 feet in the 50K. and some steep climbs, from my understanding, some very steep downhills. But so we have Nick Dovdat from Sparks, Nevada, is lining up. He's got 100% ultra sign up rank, but that's only from one result. And then we have Ryan Neely from Mill Valley, who's very fast. And Ryan has 21 results, but he has a 99.2 rank on ultra sign up. And Aaron Mora from San Francisco, only 2 results, but a 98.6 ranking. And then we have David Roche.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
Man,
and
I saw he was catching a lot of fucking heat rounds on Reddit.
Oh, really? Well,
man, people are giving him hell on Reddit.
Yeah, he's wrapped up in yeah.
Is there? I mean,
he was wrapped up in the whole spring energy thing and all that.
Oh, they were giving, it was like they were giving him hell about like his podcast or like about his coaching or something. I don't know. Like,
he is a coach. Him and his wife are coaches, and they do a podcast.
Man, like Reddit was all up in his shit.
Yeah, people are. I don't know why. Well, I'm sure they have their reasons, but Anyway, after what he did last year, I'm looking forward to him at Western States. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that Chris Myers, who won Chuckanut, he's was 10th place at Western States last year, so he's also running Western States this year. David Roche is running Western States this year, so this is part of David Roche's build-up to Western States, is running Big Alta. And Eli Hemming, who's crazy fast, is also running Big Alta.
Big Alta. One, you've not done Big Alta's new, right? So you have not done it, correct?
I didn't do it. Last year was the first year. I never even went out on those trails. It's in Marinwood. It's just north of Mount Tam. So I never even checked out those trails. But there's some great video.
Yeah, this course is super cool. It's a giant. It's all. You run the 50K and you don't touch this a portion of track twice.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. There's a little bit of like a little bit of a bleed over, but it's basically a giant ass loop. Kind of not crazy elevation gain. Elevation gain's only 6,700.
Oh, is that right? I thought it was over 7, but
okay. No, it's 67. Now, here's the thing: you do have they jump up and snatch at 6,700 because there is 1, 2, 3. There are 4 climbs that you do not need to ask if you're on the climb. You will know you're on the climb. Like it is 4 like, holy shit, we're moving upward kind of climbs.
Yeah. So one thing they did last year is they invited all the trail running YouTubers out to Big Alta. So you had this guy Ryan out of Indiana. You had Jeff Peltier from Canada, which is my favorite YouTube trail runner, and several others. Right. So there is all kinds of footage of the course.
Yeah.
And even free trail, like Dylan Bowman, even he has videos of the course preview. And it looks nice. Like the trails are nice, but I know there is some super steep climbs and whatnot. So here's like, those are what the trails are like. They're kind of like wide track, fire road type trail.
I love running on that stuff.
I do too. Like in my older age, especially.
It's so nice, man.
I know.
It is so nice.
I seek out the fire roads now.
Yeah.
The fire roads that aren't like crazy rocky and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a nice course, but it can get pretty steep and punchy.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's look at the lineup for the women that are going to be out at Big Alta. And we have Mary Denholm, who's an elite runner from Colorado, and Lucy Andrews, Amy Cameron, Aaron Moyer, and Tabor Hemming. She's like a really, really great runner. And Keely Henninger out of Portland, who's associated with Ultrarunning magazine, right? Or no, she's a race director. So, yeah, so it should be interesting. Yeah, it's only in its second year, and it's like, an instant classic. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Crown King Scramble is also this weekend in Arizona, which is a pretty popular event. So I'm sure there's some stars out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're out there. That Crown King, they're out there getting ready for Coco possibly too.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, shoot. All right. What else we got here? Okay. I guess it's time for the 3 T's.
3 T's. Let's get it.
All right. So what we're going to talk about is social media. It kind of got sparked by Johnny read something on Reddit when somebody reached out for advice, and I'll let John explain it more, but essentially we want to talk from a big picture perspective on people reaching out for advice on any social media platform and running groups. There's some good nuggets that can be taken out of that, but there is like just so many variations and so much information being thrown and without really many details. So
yeah.
I'll let Johnny, you brought this up, so I'm going to let you go first. Just kind of explain the question on Reddit and then talk about your thoughts on like what's good or bad and everything.
So the odds of this being a listener that posted this is slim to nil, but this is posted in the subreddit for trail running, right? And the question posted was 50K prep, 4 days running, 2 days lifting, or 5 days running and 1 day lifting. and that was like the subject line, the header. So 50K prep, 4 days running, 2 days lifting, or 5 days running, 1 day lifting. And then the person gives very little additional detail, but some additional detail. Giving myself 5 days a week to train for a 50K in July. I always take Fridays off, trying to figure out my balance of miles and lifting. For my first half marathon prep, I did strength once a week and worked great for me. But 50K is a different story. What would you do? More running and more miles, or more lifting and more strength? Now, listen, I get like this person is clearly new. I shouldn't say clearly. So this goes back to my original thing. Like my whole thing, and like I commented on this, and here's what's really like this has gotten 33 comments on it, right? It's gotten 33 comments, and I can tell you the 33 comments are like Baskin Robbins 31 flavors. It's amazing. I'm like, This dude is getting no kind of good information. It's just a shotgun blast. And so like I commented back, I said, listen, just like so many other things that's running related, this depends on a bunch of different criteria, right? Like, dude or dudette, what's your overall experience? Like I see it. You made a comment on your first half marathon. Okay, is that like, is a half marathon literally the only thing you've done, and now you're jumped to a 50K?
And was it a trail half marathon?
Yeah, was it a trail?
A road?
Like, what is your base? Like, what is your base of strength and endurance? Because I gotta tell you, if you're coming at me and you're saying the only thing I've ever ran is this half marathon, I'm jumping. I'm going to tell you, lifting weights is probably one of the last things you need to worry about. Like, let's just get you some endurance built up. Yeah. But like, it's that kind of thing. Like, well, what are you trying to achieve in this race? If you've got 50K experience and you're trying to get faster, then yeah, it might make sense to do some lifting and try to get stronger, try to get faster, right? But like you just said, Jamie, what's this race like? Is this a road race where like as much strength isn't needed, or is this like trail race where you won't be climbing like a billy goat the entire time, or like maybe you want to have stronger balancing muscles because there are a lot of rocks and roots. Maybe you do want to have some better stability, and like it's just like it's quite like, dude, like the whole thing that popped in my head when I read this was like, man, like it's. And Jamie and I were talking about this. Like I now realize the privilege that I probably came up in because I came up with a great running community, right? Like if I ever had a running question, I didn't ask the internet. I went on a run with the other runners like that following Saturday. I was like, hey, by the way, got a question for you. Or you just find out through the group, or you listen to stories and you watch other people's experiences. Like, I think my overall thought on this is like, it would be, that's the fun thing about this community. That's the fun thing about this like group is like, you shouldn't have to go to like this vast void of the internet and throw out this like question that no one can give you your answer. They're giving you their answer, but not your answer. Like, this is the kind of thing that like, find a running club, find a group run that's held. Learn what's worked for other people. Test what they say. Ask them questions. Like,
yep.
It's a
best advice.
That's my rant.
No, I agree with everything you said, and I would say, take it for what it's worth. Like there might be some good nuggets of information in those responses on social media, but at the same time, take it with a grain of salt because we're all different, and what works for us is not the same ever. So I agree with Johnny, and we were talking about it before the show. It's better to learn from someone that's experienced in person and, learn what works for them. And I would say a good way to meet people is by volunteering at races. That's the best way to meet people, really, because other people that volunteer at races are usually ultra runners.
Yeah.
So that, and then also meeting people in races, or like Johnny said, local run clubs, things like that. Definitely seek out the community because that's where you're going to find your best sources of information, your best wisdom from people that have been around for a long time. But aside from all that, my opinion is that there's no easy answer, and you're going to have to figure this out for yourself.
Yeah.
This, you should research. You should research on like different fueling strategies and different training strategies. And after you've got like some direction with that, it's all trial and error.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You might train for one race doing lifting 2 days a week and running 4 days a week and one off day. You might train for a race doing that and see how it goes. If it goes good, cool. If it goes okay, then maybe try, lifting 3 days a week and running 4 days a week for the next one. It's a painfully slow process. I will say that.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll find what works for you. And it's a lot of trial and error. And the other thing, it's a lot of problem solving. So what is going wrong? What is going wrong, and how do I fix that? How do I work on that? So yeah, 3 things.
Dude.
Meet experienced runners, trial and error, and problem solving.
Grain of salt. Everything with a grain of salt. Like I just now went back to this thread. I'm reading some of the comments. Dude, I think one of the it's one thing to give like your advice. But like some of the advice that's out there is just like there's some really dangerous. Like I'm getting ready to read a comment to you that is absolutely unhinged. Like this has got to be like this person is this is an unhinged comment. Currently training for a 100-miler, 7 days of running, 2 days of lifting. What? You're running 7 days, dude? Like that is
no off day.
No, like yeah, fuck that recovery. Recovery, like
right.
What the fuck? What a dumb. And okay, and then like quite literally, the comment below that is, and I quote, "You could literally do 1 day of running, the long, slow training run to increase distance, and as many days lifting as you want." So we go from some dipshit telling them to run 7 days a week to some dumb fuck saying, "No, 1 day a week, we'll be good."
Yeah.
What the fuck? Dude, like
yeah.
folks, I cannot stress this to you enough.
Yeah.
Don't take running advice from randos who don't know you. And if you're telling me you're training for 100 miles and you're running 7 days a week, I'm questioning how often you're injured.
Yeah.
Like every good runner I've ever met has told me or has said to other people, the rest day is the most important day in the training cycle.
Yeah.
Like you have to have the rest day. That's when your body recoups. That's when your body gets stronger and better.
Yeah.
Like
I try to have, and when I'm training, I try to have 2 rest days. Sometimes I only have 1, but I try to do 2.
I've always done Mondays and Fridays. Always. I've never not like it's always been Mondays and Fridays are my rest days.
I typically try to go Friday and Sunday if I can.
Yeah. Oh,
but it's a long run on Saturday.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out that way.
All right. That is
cool.
That is the end of that rant. There you go, folks.
Yeah.
Don't listen to randos on the internet.
Yeah, and if you like really feel you need advice, then hire a coach. Like don't I don't know. Don't get wrapped up into something that's going to get you injured or set you back and make you not like the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right.
Cool.
Well, that's our opinions. What do we know? But thanks for listening, everyone. And we'll be back with the results of Barkley next week, and also the results of all these huge races coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
So should be a fun weekend of following running. So everyone, hope you have a great weekend.
Cool. Thank you much, everybody.